Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. Wanna fight? Fight me! What's going on? We have got a free legendary champion today. Ninja's with us, and for the privilege, Plarium have dropped us an extremely generous pack. I mean, we're talking a mere $75, 75 big ones, and we could get Ninja leveled up super fast. So, I mean, who isn't buying this? Who isn't buying this pack? There you go, 13 legendary times. To be honest, in terms of value, it's probably about right. But it's a little bit of a slap in the face when they're calling out this free champion, and then the first thing they do, the first second that anyone gets it, it's like, ooh, by the way, we've got a sneaky little deal. You know what would have been cool, Plarium? What would have been cool is if you'd price this as $25. Yeah? Not $75. Price it cheap so that everyone gets the benefit of giving it a go. That's just a bit of a slap in the chops. So, first thing I want to call out on this video is tomorrow there's a champion chase event. Okay? It's an event, sorry, tournament. Champion chase tournament. So, tomorrow, if you collect Ninja, you will get 500 points. I don't know if there's a way to log into the game and not pick him up. In my excitement, I bet as long as everyone else, you've probably logged in, you picked him up straight away and you're already leveling him. But if there is a way, maybe you can kind of force log out, come back in and it doesn't collect it for you. I don't know. But if you can do that, then you should try and do that so that you save it a day, but you get your 500 points. In today's video, we are going to look at Ninja on my main account, and more excitingly for me, on my free-to-play account, because I think that's going to be the type of player who really benefits from getting this legendary really early in the game. This video and everything about it is sponsored by the good fellas that make me mentally tough, that make me able to pull trunders from shards. G Fuel, there's going to be a link below where you can get 30% off anything G Fuel. Oh yeah! It's good. It's good. I actually love it. So, G Fuel, sponsor of the video. Thank you very much. Sponsor of the channel. Couldn't do this without their support. That's for sure. So, what have we done? To start off with, we're going to show Ninja doing damage. Yeah, let's do the damage test. We're going to then see him in where I think his best places are and see what he can do. So, Ninja. Finally, you're with us, friend. Finally, you're here. What's going on? It's got an interesting skin. We know that. We've seen this already. I do love it from the back. It's like that gorgeous lady you see from the back, and then it's like, okay. Anyway, what's going on? We've got an A1 who's got decreased defense. That's nice, to be fair. An A1 with decreased defense. If you book it, 60% chance. It's solid. It's a solid ability for clan boss. It's like a secondary ability for bosses, but he's not going to get you through waves of enemies with an A1 decreased defense. You still want your AoE drop defense for anything wave-based. But for boss fights, this is pretty good. And he gets a little cheeky turn meter boost whenever he uses it. So if he's using it on a counter-attack, if he's using it on an ally attack, he's still going to gain this extra 15% boost, which might make him a little bit tricky to tune for, like unkillable teams, that type of thing. But still nice. Nice ability. A2. This is the sexy ability. Let me ask you a question. What's the only hard-hitting thing that hasn't been nerfed from level 21 to 25 bosses, from level for all of the Doom Tower bosses? It's HP burn. It's HP burn. And that is what makes Drexar such a good legendary to pick up. Well, Ninja does it, but he explodes the HP burn straight away. A tick of it. This ability is actually insane for boss fights. So 3 hits at random. The trouble is if you've got more than one add, then he can just throw it all over the place. But 3 hits at random. Each hit, 75% books to 100 chance of placing HP burn. Also places Veil on himself. When used against bosses, will instantly activate any HP burn debuffs, including HP burn debuffs placed by this skill. So what's quite interesting here is you can get a triple HP burn insta-proc, which is a ton of damage. Okay, it's a ton of damage. So this could be really the only end game viability that I see in his kit. This is super cool. A3, a massive AoE, buffs to 100% chance to freeze. So 100% chance to freeze is complete control of your enemy in waves. And then if you're against a boss, he doesn't do that. He hits the boss with a nuke, which ignores defense. Both of these abilities, AoE or single target, they both hit hard, and we'll see that in a minute. If you're using it for the freeze, this is a nice kind of champion to go second in your arena team. You go speed boost into someone who does 100% control, and then you let your damage go after it. But let's be real for a second. He's not better than Astralon, who a lot of you would have got. He's not better than someone who does 100% AoE stun or 100% AoE provoke, because freeze makes your nukers hit for less damage. Okay? Freeze reduces the damage that the next people do after it. So bear that in mind. He's also got the affinity kind of thing. So, you know, if he's got a negative affinity, there's a chance he doesn't place the freeze. But for a go second champion for like my free-to-play account, that's a solid ability. I don't have anyone who does it yet. It's 100% freeze and it hits hard. So he's kind of stat hungry in the fact that he's going to need accuracy to land it, and he's going to need damage if you want to push damage as well. So he's one of these champions, and there's a few out there now, where you've got to decide, what do you want to do? Do you want him to hit hard? Do you want him to land his abilities? Or do you want a type of try and create this kind of hybrid build of the two, which means that he doesn't do either job solely? And I prefer people that have got a purpose in my arena team. So for me, he'd probably end up being a high accuracy champ, and there's better people to do it, honestly. But still solid for someone who's coming in as a new person. This is interesting, his passive. So he can increase his attack up to 100%. So by up to 100%, which means he doubles his attack. I don't think there's anyone in the game, maybe Mountain King's the only one, who is coded that you literally double your attack. So if you're building with 5k, he's going to get 10k as his builds up. His crit damage goes up by 25%. I've been kind of chewing the cud over this with Saf in my team. When you get a crit damage buff plus 30%, you don't get your crit damage times 1.3. You get your crit damage number, 200%, and then you add 30%. With this, he thinks it's coded that you do get the times 1.25 instead of just plus 25%. So this is very interesting because this is unique in the game right now. So each time a single enemy is hit by all three abilities, it basically levels it up. This can occur multiple times against the same enemy. When fighting bosses, will increase ninjas' attack by 20% up to 100 and 10% up to 25. So basically, the only place I see this being relevant is clan boss or high-level Doom Tower stuff, where you're going to be in that fight for a long period of time. So this is cool in clan boss, particularly. It will be good in unkillable teams because he'll get to that damage ramp up really quick, especially in teams where you're running 2-for-1 comps. But as I say, the A1's kind of tricky. I think Deadwood's already done some work on this, so go and check out Deadwood Jedi's video around Clan Boss. In terms of masteries for this video, I've done him with Helm Smasher. I've gone offense with support. So Helm Smasher is going to get me my damage, and then the support tree is going to get me accuracy. But if you're running him purely for like a Doom Tower or Clan Boss build, you wouldn't have Helm Smasher here. You would go War Master, and you'd get the extra damage from War Master. One of the things I didn't call out is that his A3 also decreases the cooldown of his A2. And his A2, as I say, this is the sexy ability. Okay? So anything we can do to get this cooldown reduced on his A2 is big. Because we want this back as often as we can get this back. And it's actually on a really low cooldown. You could imagine putting him in something like, what's the gear set called? Reflex Gear. Reflex Gear on him could be bonkers. 40% chance to reduce a random skill every time he attacks. So whether you reduce the A2 or the A3, doesn't matter. All of it goes into reducing the A2. It's kind of like this A2 is kind of busted. So let's just do a damage test first. This video might be a bit of a longer one. Apologies for that. But I guess because so many people are going to have him, you're going to want to see him play tested in a lot of ways. So let's get our damage team in the mix. And we always try, for my damage test, I always do it against Dragon. I will come out of here and show you his stats actually in a second. But we're going to increase attack. We're going to drop their defense and throw the weaken out. we're going to buff our damage and poison them. We're going to buff our damage and poison us. And this is probably as hard as where we're going to see him hit unless someone's got better gear than I've got. He's in Savage Gear, which ignores defense. We're doing the AoE first. Let's slow it down and see what his animation's like as well. We can get a good look. There we go. It's solid. It's solid damage. So we're talking a couple of 100k across the board. He's in line, as I said, with like an Astralon type of level of damage. It's a good hit. It's a good, solid hit. Let's just have a quick look and see what his A2 does. Now, for his A2, this is what I don't like about the wording. 3 times at random. You don't even choose who the first person you're going to hit is. That's a bit dumb, to be honest. Each hit can place the burn. So let's see what sort of damage we do. And yeah, let's just check this out. 80 odd K. But he doesn't even hit the guy I target. That's what I'm saying. It's like completely at random. It's not a crazy damage ability until you get to bosses, and then it is. So A2 is fine. Let's just check out what his A1's like as well whilst we're doing it. And his A1, let's go against this fella. 78k, so respectable damage across the board. I'll show you just kind of what stats I'm using here. It's high, you know, this is a high stat build, so that's him in all his glory, which is not crazy. That's not crazy damage at all. 5.6k attack, 232 crit damage, in Savage Gear. You know, that is a high damage build. It's not crazy, it's not like my Trunder gear, but it's a pretty solid damage build. And if we see him in the arena, again, where am I at? Sort of lowish gold 4 here, so these aren't going to be particularly challenging teams for me. But if we see him in the arena, let's just throw him into... So ideally what you do in the arena is you'd set him up as a go second champion and use his control. You would not set him up as your damage dealer unless you're struggling for a damage dealer. But in this instance, we're going to have him as the damage dealer just so you can kind of see what that looks like. And I guess I'll run it as if it was my Trunder team, but without Trunder in the mix. So who else do I have in that team? Perhaps we'll just throw in a Kai'Ma. And this for me, so this is probably where originally people thought he's going to be used. I don't think it is. I don't think this is where we're going to see him used long term. I think he's going to be a clan boss champion, and I think he's going to be a... in fact, we can just... this. I think he's going to be a clan boss champion, and I think he's going to be a Doom Tower champion, personally. So AoE freeze. Let's see, does he one-shot everyone? He's not got any negative affinities here. You've got 2 things going on. You've got a nuke, and you've got a chance to completely freeze everyone. And the nuke is solid. But that's him at his full capability. He's a Skull Crown level of nuke. He's probably a Foley level of nuke. Yeah? So good, solid damage. But honestly, you have to just decide how you're going to build him. Do you want him to be your damage, or do you want him to be your go second and freeze? If you don't have a nuker yet, you can use him for that. But Kale would do that damage. Yeah, this is the thing to be sure of. Kale would put out that same level of damage. So would a Skull Crown, etc. So he's solid, but he's not crazy. If you get him and you've just started playing the game, build him as your nuker instead of Kale. But he's not going to go in and replace Kale as your campaign farmer or anything like that. So, is he a good damage dealer? Yes. But let's see him where I think he's actually going to be best. Let's get him onto Doom Tower. I don't know if I'm that high. Oh, I'm pretty high. So, we can go against Sorath. This is like his bread and butter. HP burn is awesome for Sorath. And let's just take out my actual HP burner I've got in there right now. He goes in. Now, you would switch his masteries up here, and you would be pushing him into War Master builds for anything I'm going to show you from now on. So this is how I would actually build mine. I would build him, and I would be pushing him in Doom Tower, and I'd be pushing him in Clan Boss. So for Clan Boss, you've got the War Master build, you've got Life Drinker for regaining your health, you've got your accuracy. This is a Doom Tower Mastery, Evil Eye, really useful. I've taken Sniper and Master Hexer for his A1 to try and get more benefit from that decreased defense ability. But this is how I think most people should build him if you're not going to use him as your nuke. So I've totally changed him up. I've pushed him into full perception build with accuracy now. So we've got 350 accuracy. I've totally pulled away from the crits. Not worried about that anymore. More health, more survivability. This is really what I think people will build him like for stuff like Doom Tower. So he's got to survive hits, but we also want him to land those burns. And if we were running against something like the Frost Spider, where I think it's going to be one of his best places, but also, honestly, trying to think what other Doom Tower bosses, things like the Griffin could be good, things like the other dragon, the other Doom Tower dragon would be good. Anywhere, really, where you've got a chance to get that multi-HP burn off without taking a load of flak for it yourself. And I think Doom Tower's a really good spot for it. So let's get ourselves through the waves and onto the boss. Okay, here we go. On to Sorath then. So obviously I've got a couple of people in this team that help me protect. It's still getting resist actually on that A2, which is bonkers with his 350 odd accuracy. I guess, yeah, we'll see if we've got enough. Maybe I haven't put enough on him for level 70 stuff. Cleaning some bits off. Thank you, Doom Priest, trying to keep us in the game. Resist, resist, resist. Yeah, okay. Let's get the leech out there. Gives us a chance to heal back up on the spiderlings. Might just be we need to kill the ads before we get down on this. But even if he does his random HP burn on one of the mini spiderlings, the main spider takes a ton of damage. That's really where you get the benefit. See that? HP burn's gone over here and it ignited, so we got the damage straight away. And as long as we can make that happen, he is going to be a real benefit for this fight. So if you haven't got your Drex yet, but you've got your ninja already, then he's going to really help us here. We're kind of like clawing our way back, trying to stay in the game here. But honestly, it's a tough fight. High level Sorath, really difficult to get your debuffs away because of the passive abilities kicking in. Obviously, someone like Brogni just keeps us in the game well. But yeah, the HP burns are really where it's at for doing damage. That's why Drex are so good in this fight, because he enables us to put more HP burns out there. It's the same way that Ninja's doing right now. So this, I think, is going to be... I'm not going to show you the whole fight, it's long. And you also need HP burn on the main spider to kill the spider without the revive. So, again, like a secondary really cool kind of benefit from having him in the squad. But I'm not going to show you the whole fight. I'll just show you him dead, and then we'll move on to something else. So here we go. We've got HP burn on. We killed the spider. I mean, it took me a long time because it's just a long fight, right? But 16 million damage from Ninja. Ninja is the reason we killed this spider, even if it didn't look like it when we was early on, because of his HP burn. And that multi-proc burn was always hurting. So he's actually going to be insane for Doom Tower. Absolutely insane for it. Similarly, he's going to be good for main spider. He's not going to be like top level like a Sakia, or, if you don't have the AoE HP burn yet and you're kind of working your way through, then, or even if you're kind of like up to 24 or something and you're struggling to find a comp that's going to work, then he could come in and do the HP burns for you. Like if you haven't got Drexar, for whatever reason you didn't get him, and you're running a comp like this, the reason why he's good with the A3, and I guess, and the A2, is because, so the A3 is going to freeze all these spiderlings, and these do damage. Like, they're really nasty. But the HP burns, because he procs it straight away, you get the benefit of instant damage, and then you also get the benefit of damage when it procs again. Okay? So when they move, you get damage, but you also get the insta damage. So it's the equivalent of using really 6 HP burns. That's kind of what it's the equivalent of, having 6 out there, because you get the insta damage and you get the damage that follows up from it. So for regular Spider, if you're struggling to get through it, he's going to come in with the right sort of teams and get yourself some good damage away there as well. So you see now we've got a number of the HP burns out there. HP burn is easily the way to beat high-level Spider. Like, easily. In fact, it's kind of the only way nowadays to beat 21 to 25 with any sort of decent times and that type of thing. You can see here my Cold Hearts are taking a load of flak. Doesn't matter. So Nick keeps them in the game with his crazy shields. And again, it's just going to take a while. I'm not going to show you the whole fight because it's long and this video is already getting long. But he's definitely bringing some value here, more so than a lot of champions. I'm not saying he's top tier. He's not. You know, if you've got someone who's got the AoE HP burn already, they're already better than what he's doing. But he's definitely solid if you don't have it. That's what we're saying. He's solid in all of these places if you don't have the necessary tools already. It's actually something worth calling out here. I've only just realised it. I was thinking, why are we not getting any freezes away? I think because this is classed as a boss fight. Let's just see what's going on with his A3. This is classed as a boss fight, which of course means that he changes his... I don't want to kill this spider yet. I don't think I will anyway. He changes his A3 into a single target hit. It's not back up for a couple of turns. So, because when targeting a boss, will only attack the boss, not all enemies, this becomes an A3 single target, which ignores defense. If you're trying to be clever, if you're struggling to get through a level, you could actually single target, I think, a spiderling. Maybe we'll try that in a second, actually, and see if he does his AoE freeze. So that spider's dead. Ninja's done like 6.5 of the mil of the damage, and actually it's in a kind of decent enough time. I'm just going to start again. I'm just going to do it on manual. And we'll see what happens. So his A3, if I target a spiderling, we get the freeze. And this, I mean, it does make sense. I'm just showing you for the purpose of understanding, really. If I target the boss, which is what he's going to do naturally, we just hit the boss. So that's not great AI, to be honest. On this particular fight, I would absolutely want him to freeze. I do not want the single target hit on the spider. So I don't know if there's anything Plarium could do about that, because that's just his natural AI kicking in. But that's not ideal. It's almost the same. Is there any other fights like that? The same? Maybe not. Maybe not, actually. But it is a bit of a concern. Like, against Spider, you absolutely want him doing that freeze. I'm going to throw him into my clan boss team, just so you can kind of see what that ramp up of damage looks like as well. And then we're going to go on to the free-to-play, because I really want to show you why I think he's special for a new player. So I'm not going to rebuild like a whole comp here. So I'm going to show you clan boss on my free-to-play account as well, because I think that's where he's actually going to be way stronger for me. And it means that my tune's going to be completely out of sync, so it doesn't really matter. I just want to show you how good his A2 can be. 75k, 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 225 damage, 225,000 damage just from an A2 ability going off. Yeah? So the burn goes on, he activates it 3 times. It's a massive, massive amount of damage straight off the bat from that ability. Okay? And obviously, that is the same damage whether he's level 50 or 60. That's why I think he's going to be really special for the free-to-play. You see, he already came back round to it again. He did the A2, got the ability back again, and he's already doing it. He's dropping defense as well, which is nice. And then over time, his damage will just ramp up because of his passive. So that's actually a pretty cool thing about him as well. Decreased defense A1's nice for Clan Boss. Honestly, I think Clan Boss and Doom Tower are his places to play. I think that's where you're going to see him a lot. There it is again. Triple HP burn, 75k a pop. You get a chance of your mastery as well, your War Master to proc at the same time. That single hit can be like a 350k, 400k odd hit, which honestly is in line with Servold damage. Yeah, it's a hard hit. But he's not like, oh my god, you must build him. He's going to be better than anyone else in the game. But honestly, if you're a newer player, he probably is your best Clan Boss champion right now. At level 50, he's probably your best Clan Boss champion right now, and we're going to try that on the free-to-play in a minute. I'm going to let this play through and show you what sort of damage he's done at the end of the fight. I skipped over way too quick before even looking at his damage. What did he do? 20 million of the 46 million. So Brogni, we know, does a lot of damage. 9.9 million. Ninja, 21 million. Ninja is going to be a Clan Boss beast. Mark my words, as soon as we get him tuned properly. This was not tuned properly. I wasn't going 2 for 1 because my tune is not set up for him. But damn, he's going to be a high damage dealer for Clan Boss for sure. Now, this is where I think most people will find their sexy time. This is where a lot of new players will be like, I've got him to level 50. I can't get more 60s right now. But at 50, he is going to be awesome because his A2 still does the same job. It does the same job at level 50 as it does at level 60. You don't need him to be a 60 for the crazy damage to come out of this A2, which is why I think he's going to be awesome. So I've ascended him to level 3. I've got no masteries. I've got no books. Yeah, this is like the normal player playing him. I've got a bunch of gear, speed, and perception on him. 100 accuracy, 188 speed, no damage really. His damage is going to come from his burns. And we've got, perception gear, which is half decent, speed gear, which is half decent, HP chest, HP gloves, speedy old speed boots, and we're going to throw him into my brutal clan boss team. Now, my clan boss team on brutal, you saw it yesterday if you watched the video, I'm generally hitting 7 million. Okay, 7 million damage, which is not a bad hit. So for this run, I think I'm just going to drop one of my level 60s, my Kale. Do I want to drop Kale? Maybe I don't know who to drop, to be honest, because I need the leech from Deacon. We're kind of duplicating decreased defense with Deacon here, but I do want that leech ability. Maybe I drop my increased defense. It might be a mistake. The other thing I need to do, if I'm going to do this as my setup with Geomancer, I have to force Geomancer to use his HP burn ability, because if my other champion here, Ninja, is throwing out HP burn, Geomancer won't place his, and Geomancer has to place his own burn to get his damage away. You cannot rely on someone else's burn to be out there. Doesn't work. Has to be his own one. So I'm just going to set up a team setup to make sure that he does it. In fact, we can just edit this one. Drop him for Ninja. And then in the setup, I just need to force Geomancer to have this as his first choice ability. I don't know why I've got that as an opener. First choice ability on this one. That way he'll always continue to do it. I'm going to tell Ninja to also use this as his first choice and second choice here. I've got K on this team as well. What's going on? KO out for Apothecary. Did that just ruin everything I've done? No. Okay, cool. Okay, let's give it a try. So as I said, like normally I'm hitting for 7 mil on my comp, which had Big Boy Shamrock in. You see the HP burns already doing damage. And then we get the Geomancer procs where we got a chance to get our Giant Slayer hits off. Geomancer will do more damage for me on an affinity clan boss. So I'm already doing less damage than I would normally do with my 7 mil by fighting on Void Affinity. But really, for me, Ninja is all about coming back round to his A2 and getting that A2 ability away. As long as Leech is out there, we should have a good chance of just full healing with that A2 ability because of the damage we do. So let's see how it runs. Leech back out there, nice. Kale heals up. Now, I think for me, on my account, on the free-to-play, Ninja's probably going to be my next 60 because I can just see the benefit he's going to bring me to Doom Tower, to Clan Boss, and he's absolutely going to be punching my damage. Some people are saying you should wait until the Shard Pool event this weekend, which is not a bad plan, but honestly, I can just see the benefit he's going to bring to this account for sure. Much more than my main account. My main account, for anyone who's already endgame, Ninja's going to be like a nice additional kind of buffer. He's not going to be a game changer for you. Whereas a new player, which I'd imagine a lot of you guys will be, he's going to be pretty big here. And you guys are probably not going to be fighting Brutal Clan Boss yet. I'm a month in. I'm fighting Brutal Clan Boss, which is a high level of Clan Boss to be taken on. One thing I'm nervous about, and I'm already kind of seeing it, is him and Geomancer together are a little bit funky. Like they're replacing each other's HP burn, and Geomancer's retribution hits here only work when it's his own burn there. But we're doing about 500,000 damage per turn. Staying pretty healthy, which is good. Up to 5 mil. There it goes again, that nice bit of damage. I mean, that at level 50, you will not find many champions at level 50 competing with that level of damage in a turn. You just won't see it. The only people that get close is people that throw out tons of poison. Like a Cult Brawler style champion that's just getting tons of poison out there. Starting to take a lot of damage now on these level 50s. The level 50s, honestly, are not going to last much longer. And then we just rely on our... And that's why Shamrock's good, to be fair. Shamrock does bring us that... yeah, he does bring the increased defense, which helps a lot. But we're already at 6.6 million damage on Brutal Clan Boss. To 3 tier, I need to be over 7 million. See the way he's healing back to full. As a level 50 without lifesteal gear, to be healing back to full is hard to do. Really hard to do. 7.3 mil now. Come on, team. Everyone's going to be dead. Bit more damage. Still got that leech on there. Stay alive, Geomancer. 8 million damage. Geomancer's not giving up. That's going to be it. A couple of retribution hits from Geomancer even when he's dead. 8.6 mil. As a level 50, Ninja's done 1.8 million damage. You won't find that very often, guys. Honestly, that is big damage for a level 50 on Clan Boss when he's not even fully ascending and stuff. So I think for a lot of you, he's going to be strong. He's going to be a strong champion to bring in to help your Clan Boss teams. Like, look at the other level 50's damage. 80k, 210k. Ninja's done 1.8 million. It's big for a level 50. Absolutely absurd for a level 50 champion. So I can see a lot of you running Ninja in your Clan Boss setups for a while. Absolutely can. 8.6 mil on Brutal, which in fairness, it's just nuts. That's nuts damage for my Clan Boss team. I'm going to be easily 3 tiering Clan Boss on Brutal from putting him in my team. So there you go, guys. Look, is he a great champion? Yeah, I think he is. He's a really versatile champion. Don't forget, if you want your G Fuel, the code's going to be below. Thanks for sponsoring it. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.